There's a place called a gin mill way down in the slums. There's a place called a gin mill way down in the slums. My baby goes that night and stays till the morning comes.
All right. Hey, gentlemen, what's going on?
What's going on?
It's good. It's noisy here.
It is. It's loud.
It's a festival.
That
It
means-
is a festival.
It's glorious.
That means people are having fun, right? That's the whole point.
There's definitely plenty of brew to have fun, that's for sure.
Hey, Hunter, how many samples they say you could get here today at Noblesville Brewfest?
I believe I heard 250-ish.
I think they upped that. I think it's like 300 or something.
Nice.
I think that they threw another update out like last night. Yeah, but it's definitely over 250. It's amazing.
Plus you got the wines and other things too. So I mean, it's food,
live music. Come on.
Yeah, we're doing good.
We're in the Indiana Brewers tent here at the festival, and I think almost every brewery has at least 3, 4, 5 taps going on.
Oh yeah,
easily.
Yep.
Which Dig In was our last festival, and every brewer was allowed one.
Yeah.
So this is amazing.
Yeah, and I see some have extra can. I mean, they got other. I think Triton's got about 4 or 5 beers out there.
So does Metazoa over here.
Yeah, yep. And I don't know if you guys have been over there yet for an early stop. I hit up. They're not open yet, but 4 Day Ray will be open soon. And Fisher's. I had their coffee blonde.
Ooh.
I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna be hard to beat that today.
And that
was early, but man, I'm telling you, it was absolutely delicious. And they got a great stout too. That's not on their signage, but they got a stout you can get.
And it sounds like we may be doing their grand opening with partnering up with Fuzic Media to do their grand opening.
Absolutely. We'll be one of the owners will be on the show here in a while today, but yeah, you guys got to stop in there. Definitely get the 4 Day Ray and get their coffee blonde. That's one of my early favorites so far.
I will be beelining that one.
Now there are a lot of pumpkin brews here today. I noticed that. So I'm on the Great Pumpkin Hunt today. So far, beer is still winning, and I'm not afraid to say that on air. So far. That doesn't mean by the end of the show I won't find a different one, but so far beer is winning.
Yeah, when you find them, please let me know. I'm going to let you sample first because I got to admit, that's something I have not had good luck in at all. Every pumpkin beer I've had, other than what I had today already with beer, and I agree with you 100%, that one wasn't overpowering. That was spot on, refreshing, clean. I really enjoyed that one, but in the past, the pumpkin beers, not my thing.
I don't know if it's any of our thing, but it's tradition to go on the Great Pumpkin Hunt.
Yeah,
it's what we do.
Absolutely.
It's
Flat
just a fall
12's a
tradition.
nice one. Flat 12's got their flat jack, and it's not bad. It's got that. To me, I get a big hit of nutmeg in that. I like that spiciness of it, and it's not sweet, so I like theirs as well. Again, I'm not going to go buy pumpkin beer too much, but right now I would buy a Bier Brewery pumpkin beer because it is delicious.
Absolutely.
But again, it's our tradition, Brendan. We got to do it. We got to do it.
Well, this is my first year on the Great Pumpkin Hunt then. So
It is.
Yeah.
You may have one that just knocks their socks off. So you just gotta
Southern
keep trying.
Tier makes a good one, just so you know.
They do.
They
Make a
won
very
last
good
year.
one.
You told me that, so we'll have to definitely hit that one up.
Pumpkin, yes, it is very good.
I'm looking forward to the hunt, if nothing else.
Yeah.
It's the art of the hunt. That's what it is.
Yeah, the thrill of the hunt.
The thrill of the hunt. Yeah. So we're sitting here, and we're literally in the middle of the tent, like everybody's staring at us. So it's a little weird, but wow, is there a crowd here already? And we just opened up, right? It hasn't even been open very long.
Nope.
No, 15 minutes.
Actually, I think this is the VIP opening too, isn't it?
No, there's no VIP.
Oh, there wasn't? Okay,
Nope.
I thought they had a 3 o'clock early opening.
No, but I think some people snuck into the grounds
I don't know
beforehand.
what you're talking about.
And so they were just giving out some beer. But,
Wow, yeah, it is busy. I've seen a few members of the pig pen here already. Riley's roaming around. I saw Clark out there earlier. I don't know where the hell he
is
went.
Clark here too? So
I have not seen Clark yet.
Yeah, he was over at Bier Brewery first, getting his samples.
You got to give a shout out to the Pigpen, man. They do come out to a lot of our events and
Come out
support
strong.
us.
They do support. Look, they're bringing us Mexican food at 4 o'clock for lunch. That's awesome.
I feel like royalty right now here, you know?
Well, the Mexican food's not just for you.
No, I mean, I'm just saying. I feel like royalty when they bring us shit.
So have we ever discussed, is the Pig Pen an exclusive club, or can anybody join, or what do you got to do?
you have to be very dirty.
Yes, obviously.
The Pigpen's kind of, it's reserved for those that really do support us. Like, they come help us brew, they come out to all our shows, they support us in a huge manner, you know, not just, oh, we like the Blind Pigs. I mean, they're really dedicated to the Blind Pigs and what we do. So
We haven't told them that next year there will be dues, but we're just going to get them in now. And then.
That's right.
It's like that, you know.
It's like a drug
like-
dealer.
It's, you know, the first year's free, but they've already
Exactly.
signed up, so they're screwed.
Your first hit's free,
Yes.
but after that,
We'll make a beer contest out of it. They'll have to do a few trials and tribulations.
hey, speaking of contests, though, we've got something coming up. I just wanted to maybe touch on briefly. We've got a chili cook-off coming up between the pigs here.
Scarlet Lane. is
Scarlet
gonna
Lane,
have
but
their
we've got one
October
before
15th.
that.
Yeah, we're going to have our pre-kickoff to see whose chili is going to be competing in the Scarlet Lane October 15th chili kickoff.
Yes, yes. I feel pretty confident, B.
I wouldn't if I were you, but all right.
Now, I've never had a Hunter's chili, but I will say that Brendan's made me orgasm, so I'm not sure you can beat that.
But now mine, I do
frightening.
spicy, and I haven't done. I was going to try and do a not as spicy because when it comes to competitions, my chili can be overpowering to some
Yeah,
people's palates
yeah.
because it is spicy. But I like the heat. But I think Jordan, you confirm it's hot, but it's tasty. It's good.
Right,
There's a lot of
exactly.
flavor there. It's
Do you
like,
have
it's like
chili
that good
chili,
full
or-
flavored beer.
Do you put beans in your chili?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Who the hell doesn't put beans in their chili, Pat?
It's not chili if you
Technically,
don't.
Freaks.
No, that's it depends on what the area of the country you're in. Chili is just meat and salt, basically. It's no
that's-
beans in a lot of places.
That's spaghetti sauce.
Well,
That's
yeah, that's Coney Island sauce or that's chili dog sauce. Yeah, that's what I believe that too. I just wasn't sure what the chili rule is here in Indiana.
Yeah, what is it? Cincinnati, they like to throw spaghetti right in it, and it becomes spaghetti.
Yep.
It's not chili anymore. There's no Cincinnati style. You're eating spaghetti. Knock it off. But yeah, this could be a great day, boys.
Yep.
It's going to be awesome. So I guess we'll leave the intro there. I mean, we've kind of talked about what's going on. We're going to start getting some brewers on here. We're going to, if you guys have ever listened to one of our shows at a festival before, this is kind of how it works. We let you know what's going on. We start doing some interviews, and then we close out the day.
We drink some beer.
Yeah, we drink a lot of beer, talk about it. Well, okay, so here's the question. So far today, what's your favorite beer you guys have had?
Coffee Blonde, 4-day ring.
I haven't had that yet.
I have to go have that.
I think, you know what?
Sadly, I've only had one beer.
Maybe that's what we should go do is go get one of those coffee blondes and we'll all talk about it.
There we go.
So why don't we do that?
But what's your favorite beer so far? You have to have had one that was really good.
You know what? I have to be honest. So far, I really do like that Bier Brewery, that pumpkin. That kind of surprised me. I also had Queen of Tarts from Redemption. I had heard a lot about it. I'm not a sour guy, but
Good, because
That was
it's a tart.
actually-
It was a successful failure is what that one was.
that was a successful failure. But I actually really liked it. I mean,
It was
I
good.
couldn't drink several of them, but man, I could definitely drink a pint of that. That was good.
So far, I went over to Metazoa and I'd had it before, so I cheated a little bit here. But the Kinkajou from Metazoa is awesome.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What is the Kinkajou?
Hey,
It's
someone just sat down and
it's
handed me a
a,
glass of beer.
it's like a session ale.
Okay.
It's good.
Okay.
It's awesome. It's like a honey wheat session ale.
Nice.
What was that, Brennan?
Someone just sat down and somebody from the pig pen sat down and handed me a glass of beer, and it's very tasty. What is this, Riley?
Samuel Smith chocolate stout organic.
Okay.
Organic.
It's smooth.
Organic. We add organic to
Really
that?
good.
Yeah.
Try it. Pass it around.
Really,
It's
really good.
Really good.
That's really smooth. I actually really like that.
Yeah, it's delicious.
That
Holy
chocolate is very subtle, but it's very it stays.
There's nothing subtle
Definitely
about
there.
that chocolate.
Definitely there.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that subtle at all. That's
Really?
it's a power kick of chocolate, but it's
See,
good.
I didn't get like a big explosion of it. No, I really didn't.
Yeah,
but
I
I
do
think
that.
it stays with you. I don't think
Yeah.
I don't think it disappears, but it didn't hit me like it smacked me in the face.
Tasted like a chocolate milk beer.
Yeah, I'm getting a milk
Not in a bad
chocolate.
way, though.
Okay.
It's like milk chocolate, but it's all the way through that. That's for sure.
So,
All right. Well, hey, how about we go get some beer and then we'll talk about some beer.
I think that's a good idea. Let's.
All right.
We are a beer podcast for the most part.
Just a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah, so,
We are.
all
All right,
right.
guys. Recording.
All right, stay tuned.
See ya.
Hi, this is Mel from Alley's Ale House. Come check us out for the best local and craft beer selection in Hamilton County and the most amazing craft food on the north side. We've always got something going on, whether it be poker, euchre, live music, or DJ bingo. You can check us out on Facebook or on our website at bulletpinheads.com.
All right, so we are back on the air again at Noblesville Brewfest, and we've got Heady Hollow with us.
Introduce yourself.
Introduce yourself, man. It's all good.
Oh, let's move that mic a little closer to him.
Yeah. I don't do a lot of these interviews, so
That's all right.
all right.
We'll be gentle.
I
kind of.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Maybe a little bit.
It's Keith from Heady Hollow.
Keefe from Heady Hollow. Thank you,
Keefe
sir.
Pietri, one
And,
of the co-owners of Heady Hollow.
You ran out of beer.
Ran out of beer. That's always a good sign.
Exactly. When you're at a festival, yeah.
I would be worried if we didn't run out of beer.
Yes, absolutely. And I think I know you. I think Pat. I don't know if you had the Scotch Ale from Heady.
Yes.
I know that's one of your biggest sellers. I know it's one of my favorites. It's an amazing beer. It's that classic, just amazing Scotch Ale that how it should be. How it should be done.
Well, that was actually I brewed first. Started brewing that when I was homebrewing.
Really?
And I brewed it, and I gave it to my neighbor, and he shared it with his friends. And they came back and said, "Oh, we love your Scotch Ale. You got to make us more of that." So at that point, I knew, maybe we could actually make a business out of it.
Right.
Awesome. So that's kind of how the business started, really, from the Scotch Ale, really.
Really? Yeah, we haven't even gotten that brave yet on our brewing. We're keeping it in the stout and a pale ale and a saison. Saison's about where we're getting most of our experimentation a little bit right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Those are good. That's the one thing about owning a brewery is you don't have the time to homebrew. Starting from homebrewing, that's what you love to do, and that's how you get your ideas, and it's cut into my homebrewing time. So, but we do a lot of small batches. We have a 5-gallon electric brewing system, so we do a lot of our small batches, and on Saturdays we'll do a small batch Saturdays.
Right. Oh, nice.
And then that's how we kind of introduce our new beers. So we did our next beer coming out is a cream ale.
Okay.
We did a small batch, everyone loved it, and so we've got a big batch going, should be out in the next week or so.
And that's the way most of them do. You do a small batch experimental because you don't want to trying to sit there and waste all that product.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice 5-gallon small batch.
That's right.
Get it dialed in, get your temps, your rests, and everything else all dialed in. Yeah. So that's what we're trying to do too. We're moving that way, but we do a lot. We're still doing homebrew 5-gallon.
Okay.
We're a little more than 5 sometimes, right, Jordan?
Yeah, we do 5 to 7 gallon.
Okay.
Usually if we end up with 7, it's kind of just because we didn't boil enough off. But you've been a homebrewer, so you know exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, brewing at our level, we have a 5-barrel electric system, and so that's what our normal. So basically, we brew about 150 gallons at a time for the brewery, and the process is very similar at our level. I'm sure if you go up to the bigger guys like Sun King, they probably have to do something, but the process is pretty much the same process from homebrewing. Really,
Right.
It's just bigger equipment, bigger and more expensive equipment.
Right.
A lot more expensive.
What were you guys featuring today? What did you guys bring over to the fest?
Well, we had our Scotch Ale, which is our number one seller. We had a wheat, it's an American wheat, which a lot of people like. That's probably our number 2 seller. And then one that the ladies loved is the strawberry blonde.
Yeah, I've had that one too. That was pretty good.
A lot of the ladies.
Which sounds bad, me saying that now as you say ladies.
Yeah,
ladies,
exactly.
ladies.
I'll be honest with you, a lot of guys came up and got it too, though. So
I had it. Because I liked it because it wasn't overly sweet. It was a nice, fresh, crisp beer. It
was good. It was a little light for me, but I'm also a dark beer guy.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not saying it's a bad beer at all. I'm saying it's light. So I can see what you're saying. The ladies, or maybe you should say the people that are new to the craft beer scene, are really digging it because it's that lighter, it's that introductory beer to the craft beer scene.
Exactly. So, and like you said, it's not overly sweet, so you don't get kind of like a cloying sweetness at the end. So since you say you like dark beers, we did a small batch. It was a coconut cream stout.
Okay.
Oh, nice. It was a little lactose in it, and coconut, and we're going to do a big batch soon of that. That's very popular.
Awesome.
Put a little bit of it on nitro. It was really smooth. So a lot of the people who had it when it was on a small batch, they keep asking us when we're going to do a big batch of it.
Good deal. The coconuts can be a bit hit or miss though sometimes because there's a fine line between too much coconut.
Yeah, this is really good.
And especially if we've had a couple from some others, the bottle or the can tastes different than than the draft, and it's really it's just there's this weird fine line there for the coconut.
You got to get it right. I found using about a pound per 5 gallons works pretty good.
Okay, nice.
So, you have anything with coffee coming up?
We do I'm not sure. I have to ask my brewing partner. I don't know. He's more into coffee type beers, and he's actually also more of a hoppy guy than I am.
Right.
So I usually come up with stuff that's like not as hoppy, and like I just did a pumpkin ale, which was really good.
Did you have that here? Because if so, I didn't get to try it.
No, we didn't have pumpkin ale. No, sorry.
It's okay. They're in our hometown. I think we can find them.
Yeah. We're not that far away.
Tell us a little bit about Heady, man. Your humble beginnings. Obviously, you were just homebrewing a few years ago. You said. I mean, what made you jump, and where the name come from?
So actually, I was actually on a business trip for my paying job in Boston about 2008, and I went to Sam Adams, did a tour there. Everyone was drinking, having a good time, and I said, "Man, I need to brew some beer." Came home, went to Great Fermentations, got a kit.
Oh wow!
One of the kits that Darren from Bier Brewery put together. It was actually their pumpkin ale. Brewed that up. Gave it to all my friends. They liked it. Gave it to my brewing partner George. He liked it, and so we started we put together a brewing system in the backyard with 3 burners, double level 3 burner system.
Okay.
5-gallon pots, and started brewing every weekend.
Right.
And gave it to our friends. Got good feedback on all our beers, and at that point we said, let's try. Let's look into open one. There's none in Fishers at that point, so we're like, it's blowing up everywhere else. Why not try it in Fishers? So
yeah, no doubt.
That's how we started.
So you guys do serve food there as well?
We do. We have meat and cheese plates with like smoking goose meats. We have paninis, which are really good. We use a lot of smoking goose meats on those. We have broad ripple chips, which are really fresh. You get them delivered fresh every week. We also have the just pop in. It's like a bacon caramel popcorn, bacon cheddar caramel popcorn. A lot of people like. So we have some stuff. So it's not like a full menu.
Sure.
But it's enough to satisfy people's hunger if they're hungry.
Well, Brennan and I, we went there about a month ago or so.
Yeah, and
it's a nice atmosphere, nice place. Everything's nice, clean.
You probably don't expect it in the strip mall, right?
Well, but it's a Fisher strip mall too, so it's but you're also in that nice kind of area, because you're near like Cigar Haven and all that kind of stuff. There's lots of nice little things around there.
Yeah. So me and my business partner George, we did most of the work in there, so it took us a little longer than we expected. We did most of the finishing and the construction, a lot of construction. So we had our sign up for about 6 months before we opened, and people would come in there and like peek their head in the window watching us. So it was good advertising, I guess. But I still get people come up and say, "You guys open yet?" That's like a year and a half ago.
They get one of those clerk signs that says, "I assure you we're open."
Yes, exactly.
But we hang it up in the front window.
We have a big open sign. I don't know.
If they're still not able to read the open sign, they might need to be turned away because they're already drunk.
Yeah, exactly. That's funny.
No, so I think the menu there is perfect. Usually I go have a few craft beers. I'm not going in there looking for a big meal or a big.
No.
So I don't go to eat. I want what I think you guys do is perfect. It's that I love those meat plate. I mean, that's what I want to do when I go to a craft beer. Meat and cheese, and I have a good beer to go with it. Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah, so. I mean, we wanted to balance it between not being a restaurant, but not have no food like some of the places have. They used to have the $15, you get the pita pocket or something like that.
$15 hot pocket.
Hot pocket, yeah, exactly.
Well, you need to because it keeps people there a little bit longer too.
Yeah.
If it's just the tap room, people are there. Yeah, but they're not staying for a while and chatting, or even big groups of friends just sitting there, noshing on some eats while they're all chatting and drinking good beer. So it tends to keep them there long.
Yeah, definitely. I can't imagine not having food. When I drink, I like to eat too. So it's
right. But then you don't have to have the stress of having a full restaurant and all that stuff too. So it makes it a nice, easy way to move into this.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
We usually have one person in the kitchen, and that's enough, and that covers us. And
that's
so
awesome.
We try to also do some other stuff. Thursday nights we have trivia night, so we bring in people play trivia.
Cool.
Friday nights we have live music. Different people every Friday.
Out on the patio or inside?
It's inside.
Okay. I was trying to remember the layout of the place. I'm like, okay, I would think I remember where it was at now. Then
yeah. So
awesome. Well, that's going really well then for you.
Yeah,
I mean that's really good. That's a really good success story as far as homebrew to open up your own tap room and it taking off, and you picked a good place at least. Like you said, there's nothing really else around there right now.
That's right.
I mean, there's stuff up the road a little bit, and down the way, 96th Street and some other stuff. But that area, nothing.
Yeah. So we get a lot of our business there's a lot of neighborhoods back around there and apartments, so we get a lot of people who come in from those areas.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
It's been good. Yeah. So our next step is try to get on some distribution locally in Fishers.
Yeah.
Restaurants. We've had some of them ask us to if they could
guest taps.
What's that?
Guest taps at
guest
on
taps.
Theirs.
Different places have asked us to give them a keg to we're just kind of limited in what we can do right now because of our size. So.
Yeah. All right, appreciate having you on, man. We'd love to get in there and do a full show with you sometime.
Okay.
And, absolutely.
Very good. We'll have to make it happen.
Excellent.
We'll do
Heady
it.
Hollow Brewery.
All right.
Thank you for coming out, man.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
See you.
Have a good day.
All right.
It's Jerry with Bier Brewery. You're listening to that great show, The Blind Pig Confessions.
We got Jucntion Brewing Company out of Westfield, Indiana on the show today. Gentlemen, introduce yourselves.
John Knight.
Shawn Kessel.
Welcome, guys.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
So fill us in a little bit about Jucntion.
Before we start, I actually how'd you guys come up with the name Blind Pig Confessions?
Oh, there you go.
All right. So the whole concept is, we were doing another show with just basically just beer.
Okay.
And then it was just sitting around drinking beer, and we were producing beers, but we weren't really getting out and really pushing the craft beer scene. And we want to give some love back. The beer scene obviously is exploding, and what happened back during Prohibition was people started taking it into their homes and making their own shit. Said, screw you, we're going to drink.
Absolutely.
So we're going to make our own stuff. So it's an anti-prohibition site. Blind Pig was one of those places you went to, and they had the speakeasies who were a little bit more upper class. We would be in the dives.
Yeah.
We're the Blind Pig guys.
Yeah.
We're the guys that go in the blind, and we probably wouldn't have went blind because we were drinking some nasty shit back then that they were serving at some of the places.
Yeah.
But so just to give love back to the old stuff that people were doing, and what we're seeing now is everybody's getting back to the basics.
Yeah.
And I think in America we're making some of the best beer around.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I think that's a good segue actually, and I love that. I love where the name came from. We actually have a pretty popular beer of ours that we're canning. It's called the Hoosier Pride Cream Ale. That's using pre-prohibition ingredients.
Nice.
So we're actually pretty, we like to use obviously those kind of ingredients and go back to the roots of kind of where things started and brew beers from a historical perspective.
Awesome.
As well. But
Fantastic.
to tell you where Jucntion kind of got its start, it's a long story. I'm going to try to make it as short as possible here. But so many years ago, I was born in England, and my dad got a job offer. I'm sure you guys can tell by the accent, right? Yeah. So my dad got a job offer. I was a little kid, brought us over. The rest of my family, like aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents, stayed over in England. Went back a number of times to England. Fell in love with the pub scene. Absolutely loved that you could walk into a pub, have a pint or two. No one was in there getting hammered or getting sloshed. They were actually appreciating the beer.
Yeah.
There was tons of conversation. It was really the fabric of the community. So I wanted to open up a pub. Probably 5 or 6 years ago, I got bit by the brewing bug, started to do some home brewing, and then thought, what the hell? We can mesh the two together. We can open up a brewery, and we can obviously do a pub as well. So we have a brew pub in downtown Westfield, full restaurant, family friendly. We got a signature fish and chips on the menu. My great-grandfather actually ran a fish and chip shop for like 40 years over in England, so we took his recipe and brought it to the pub, so that works out well. It's well received. We get a lot of compliments on it. But to be honest with you, in the infancy of Jucntion, within the first probably 6 months of Jucntion, we really didn't come out of the gates as strong as we wanted to. There was a head brewer change, and that's really what kind of set us off. Shawn Kessel, who's sitting next to me, came on board as our head brewer, and to be quite honest with you, from that point forward, we've been a bit of a rocket ship, winning awards and getting medals and all kinds of stuff. And we're expanding. We're actually quadrupling the space of our production facility.
Wow.
We're going to be just outside of Grand Park there in Westfield, which is a pretty major tourist mecca right now with all the different sports that are coming. So things are going pretty well for us.
Awesome.
That's a little bit of the background. I don't want to bore you with any more details. I don't want to take any more of the mic time. Let Shawn.
I was going to say where I come in is I'm all about the beer.
Right.
Authentic beer, going back to the days of great German beer, great Belgian beer or whatever. I want to go back to the basics.
Right.
Instead of brewing these wacky beers, everybody gets it and goes, oh, that's a great peanut butter jelly beer. Okay, have 5 beers, have 5 pints. You can't. You're going to get a stomachache. So, they're great beers. I have one that's coming out actually that I do once in a while. It's our Dark Road Porter on Nitro. but I put about 8 pounds of bacon and 3 pounds of maple syrup in it, and some maple bacon porter. So you can go there, but all the other beers should be your standard great beer. Brew them well, and then twist them up later. Have fun with it later.
You are definitely speaking our language right now with some bacon and anything.
Well, bacon's great. He came into the facility this morning, and I'm just sitting loaded.
Oh, there he is. There he is tossing bacon into the
it's great.
tank. I loved it.
So I got to ask, is the bacon raw or is the bacon cooked
It's
up?
cooked. It's been baked. It's been baked by our head chef, Brandon, at Grand Junction, and then he brought it over to me, and then I purposed
8 pounds of cooked bacon thrown right in there.
8 pounds and a half barrel. Then I'll do is I'll blend out.
We're not messing around. We're not messing around.
So I blend out to my taste, so you get my taste out of it. So if it might be too much bacon, I've never heard those words.
The big question here is, when does it release?
Wednesday.
Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Wow.
Wednesday.
Wow. Can we make a Wednesday show work?
Well, I know I can be stopping in on the way north, so I'll be grabbing some.
Along with 2 other beers that we have here right now that will be at the pub also. The pumpkin, the straight out of the patch, or pumpkin ale, and then our Oktoberfest. That's our 3rd annual release right now.
All right. What do we have here? Did you guys bring us a beer?
Yeah, we actually brought our bronze-winning Russian Imperial called Radio Moscow. It is delightful. I brewed this back in April. I think it was April. So it's got a little bit of age to it. It's 9.3%, 80 IBUs. It did win bronze at the Brewers Cup this year. Very proud of that beer. Just from a formulation standpoint, all the way to see it actually won something. Kind of nice. I do have a version of that in a barrel right now. It's been aging for about 7 months, so I'll be hopefully bombing those soon.
What kind of barrel?
Rye whiskey.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
That was good. I just took my first sip of it. It's definitely an imperial stout. You can taste that.
Yeah.
You can definitely feel the alcohol to it, which you should. I can't imagine what that's going to taste like coming out of a bourbon barrel, though.
Oh, it's
going to be good.
It's pretty phenomenal. Yeah, I've had it. Yep. We talk about dipping it in it. You know what I mean? So when it's that damn good, you want to dip it in it. Yeah.
It's got a lot of flavor.
It's got the dryness at the end, too, like it should.
That's what I love.
It's the perfect dryness.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Wow, that's
really
good stuff, guys.
Okay.
Well done.
Thank you.
The other one that we brought was the Straight Out of the Patch. Named it after, obviously, Straight Out of Compton. Straight Out of Compton. So I loved all that. I grew up during the rap battles and doing all that.
There you go.
You know, white suburbia, getting all the white music right, you know.
Yeah.
And getting all that rap going on. So I grew up during that era. So just having that stuff come out at that time, straight out,
Straight out of pumpkin.
Just straight out of pumpkin. So I wanted to incorporate that in there because it is part of the history. This version's got 100 plus pounds of pumpkin in the boil, and then all the spices that you can go with it: the nutmeg, allspice, and cinnamon. That comes in at about 6.6%, 13 IBUs.
Nice.
It actually comes out to be 6.66, 13 IBUs. So
Nice.
try to make it,
That's good.
Halloweenish.
Well, this is about the time of year, and we talk about it. This is about the time of year we go on the great pumpkin hunt. You know, and looking for the pumpkin beers that are all coming out and seeing how they stack up, because some of them are awful. You know, it's just all they did was throw some allspice and some cloves in there or something, and
Didn't balance it out.
or a can of pumpkin puree, and it's just awful. There's still pumpkin floating in it. Yeah, we've had a few bad ones, so they're getting better as the years go by, though.
Yeah, this particular pumpkin beer is the real McCoy, and obviously there's 100 pounds of real pumpkin that went into it.
It's
So
not bad. Yeah, I like that.
And people say that pumpkin doesn't have a lot of flavor, but I think when you guys put that much pumpkin in, I can taste the pumpkin.
yes,
Not just the spices, but I can
Right.
literally taste some pumpkin in there, which is a good thing.
Without needing to add all the allspice and the nutmeg and everything else that usually is what you overpower it with, because everybody's trying to mimic pumpkin pie. It doesn't need to be a pumpkin pie beer. It should be a pumpkin beer.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's better. Yeah, it's very clean. I like it. Very good.
That aroma and that
really good.
balance, that's really spot on, guys.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah,
That's good.
Thank you.
Yeah, you made a good point. You know, the craft beer scene now, people aren't going in and drinking 10 buds. They want to go in and have a couple of good beers, and people are talking about the beers now when they're drinking them. They're not just out there getting shit-faced.
Yeah.
You know, you go to a craft brewery and you want to drink a good beer, and you're trying different stuff they would never have tried before. And it's getting women and men together to talk about it, and talking about the food and the beer, man. It's just
well,
cool.
and I love that you bring that up, because I actually think the craft beer scene's gonna come back full circle. And what I mean by that is, you know, John Lang here in town with Broad Ripple Brew Pub. I mean, one of the initial,
right?
You know, one of the grandfathers of craft beer here in the Indianapolis market. And he was quoted in an article where John Lang basically said, "I don't get why we got 130 taps."
I believe his name is John Hill.
Oh, I'm sorry, John Hill.
Yes.
My apologies.
I had to say that.
My apologies. Thanks for the correction. But John Hill said in an article that, you know, he didn't understand why there were so many taps. Why was 130 taps, or why were there 75 taps, whatever. Because it's all about the beer, and he just, you know, thought that, you know, hey, when you got 130 taps, you got 100 taps or whatever. It's better to walk into a place that has 8 taps, 12 taps, 16 taps, so where you can actually really get to know that beer,
right?
Really enjoy
try
that
a
beer.
few that you like each time. You're not going to be overwhelmed and go, okay, well, let's get blast of every one of these, and you don't even taste them. You know, once you get through a couple of those, you know. So
we've been to a couple of those industrial ones that there's 75, 100 beers on tap. The ones that got like 20 or 30, maybe I'm still good with that, because our home is Alley's, and they've got a good selection, but it's not too big.
Yeah,
it's a good rotating number, not too big. But there's some of these industrial corporate ones.
Well,
there's 100 beers on tap.
I don't mind some of those. I mean, if you're going into a place like that, especially if you're out from out of town and going to a place you don't know the breweries around, and something like that is nice to have when you say, hey, what's good around here. But when you're in that city, you don't want that. You're going to go to Grand Junction to have a good 4 or 5 samples of beers of that day, and try a couple of them. And then you can come back the next day and say, I'm going to try that one. So I mean, it's a little bit different. And the tap house is a little bit different scene. You get people from out of town, and you want one from Grand Junction. You want one from
I was going to say there is a purpose.
But I agree. You definitely get overwhelmed. Some craft breweries overwhelm you with 30, 40 beers
of their own choices too.
It's
like, how are you making 30 great beers? Rather than, like, you were saying, get your base ones, make them good, tweak them later. Some of them too many choices, and it's just not consistent enough.
Well, and I think that speaks to what we were talking about, is getting back to basics.
Yeah,
I really do. I think that's what we're all saying.
Yeah, we're all on that page.
Yeah, you get back to basics, get back to the foundation beers, and then you can kind of tweak them, as Shawn does, and does so well.
Yeah, because there's a lot of them. There's so many base beers out there that are just phenomenal. One that I love doing, and he'll be coming back up, but I do a Rogan beer all the time, and it's called Augie das Rogan, and it means eye of rye in German. It's 60% rye beer. I love rye. Kind of like with Mullins, if you bring up Broad Ripple Brew Pub, Mullins is a rye guy. I'm the other half of him. So
gotcha.
Mullins and that John Lang guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
John Lang was Barley Island.
John Lang is somebody. Who was John Lang? Who was I thinking of?
John Lang started at Barley Island.
Oh, okay. I knew there was a John Lang floating out there. I'm not going crazy. That's good.
You just said John Lang, so we do have to give props out to the 5th anniversary of Triton.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Cheers to that.
They are having an anniversary party today. So since you brought up John's name.
Yeah, I did that on purpose.
So I will say, guys, your back to basics things makes a lot of sense to me, because there are some breweries out there that are making, like we said, too many beers. They're just throwing out beer, but they're not concentrating on making the best beer or a really good beer. Most breweries I go to, I can find a few that I like. Maybe there's one or two that don't fit my palate, because that does happen. There's very few breweries in Indiana that I go to and I don't like any. There are some, but it's not a very often experience. So you guys taking that concept of, hey, we want to take these basic beers and we want to make them ours, we want to make them good. That's awesome to me. That to me is what the craft beer scene is all about. And then, like you said, once in a while you're throwing out something kind of wild, just for fun, because that's my fun beer.
If I go into a place and they have a poor blonde, I'm not going to drink their pumpkin beer.
Yeah,
I don't want it. I'm going to steer clear. I'm not even going to try it. Okay, if they can't do that well, I'm not going to. Stick away.
Exactly.
I mean, it just makes sense. You got your cores down, then then that's when you want to stick around. And hey, and it shows, because that pumpkin beer. I'm not a big pumpkin fan, but we always search every year. But that's delicious.
Yeah,
it's good beer.
Yeah, thank you.
we'd love to get in there sometime and do a full show with you guys. I mean,
please,
absolutely.
Should.
Excellent. Yeah, we'll get that organized.
We can do that. We can do it at the pub, and like we mentioned early on, we're right in the throes of a major expansion with Grand Junction. We've canned 3 of the beers already this year. We got another 3 beers that we're going to be canning before the end of the year.
Are you canning, or are you guys using like the mobile canner guys?
Mobile
canning.
Yep, mobile canning. So we're in the middle of all of that. But once that new facility, that production facility is open, it's going to be a tap house as well.
Okay.
So it's going to be a tap room. So we could do it either place. We do it at the pub or we do it at the new tap house. So we'd love to put it together.
On the mobile canning, how much control do you have on that process? I mean, it just seems. They come in. I mean, you have to, right? I mean,
well, I can tell you, it's very involved. It gets down to. I mean, we're controlling the pressures. We're controlling the temp. We're knocking down the cold room condenser and evaporators to hit a colder temp.
So you're not calling people and go, hey, can this?
No. I mean, we're tweaking. We're tweaking as we go on.
Him and I
mean, we're tweaking. We're tweaking as we go. Every single can that comes off that line gets weighed. Every single can gets weighed. So it's a very, very involved and very detailed process. But to be honest with you, we wouldn't have it any other way. I mean, it's always all about the beer anyway.
Right.
So if we're putting a product out there, whether it's at the pub or it's in a can, it's got to be the right product.
Absolutely.
If we brew a bad batch, we're dumping it.
Right.
There's not a second thought about it. So the quality of the beer is obviously the first consideration for us always.
You guys do like a small batch of canning to make sure you got it right before you run the whole run? Because we've heard of a couple breweries who've done that. They've canned out and something went wrong, and they had to like toss a ton of cans because something got messed up. When they did they did a run.
We've been very, very lucky.
Lucky so far.
Yeah, we have been pretty lucky so far. So.
We
hasn't
only
happened. Yes, thank you.
We only had one
Knocking
issue
over there.
come up, and that was the first canning run, which is always going to. It's your first time. You never know how things set up or whatever.
Right.
Coming off of one of the brights, there was a seal that was a little loose. It was giving us a little bit more out of foam.
Okay. Oh, gotcha.
So once we figured that out, then we got through it. But yeah, after that, the last 2, they blew my mind. It was 2 hours done.
Damn.
Wow. We got it dialed in at this point, and we're looking forward to the remaining canning runs that we're going to have this year. Yeah, we got a lot more room, so we're kind of excited about that.
You're doing your own distribution and everything. I mean, it's
all self-distributed.
Yeah,
Self-distributed. We are we're in a couple of liquor stores at this point. We have a number of different accounts at restaurants and pubs. We're going to continue to follow the self-distribution model for as long as we can.
Good. I got to talk to you after we get done.
Yeah, and here's the reason why, and I think it's kind of important. It's something that we're going to do until we get to that point. Who better to sell Grand Junction beer than Grand Junction people?
Absolutely.
And we're obviously going to take the most pride in when we walk in and talk to an account. It's obviously our bread and butter, and we think that's the best way to approach it for now. I mean, we're never going to, we're not going to say never to distributors or anything like that.
Right.
I think that time's coming, but we're going to self-distribute as long as we can. So that's good.
I have a lot of respect for the self-distributors.
Yeah.
I think it helps keep it a little bit more local, too, a little bit more personal when you guys are going in and talking about your beer.
Yeah.
I think it's easier for you guys to sell it. You're the brewer.
Yep.
You go in and you say, hey, I brewed this beer. Here's what it's all about.
Yeah.
People are like dumbfounded by that, and they're like, well, hell yeah, how can I say no to taking your beer on tap? It has that personal touch to it.
I think it's powerful. I think it's powerful to be able to do that. And we're going to resist as long as we can and try to keep doing that, and we're going to try to keep showing up as brewers and owners and all that kind of stuff as much as we can. And the business is going to take us where it takes us, and ultimately it may happen that we have to go that route, but we're going to keep doing it as much as we can.
Awesome. Hey, you guys are definitely our kind of guys, so we definitely got to make this happen soon.
Thank
so
you. We appreciate
much
it.
respect for how you guys do things. That's definitely very cool.
Yeah, we appreciate it, and thanks for having us.
All right, absolutely. Thanks for being on. We'll talk to you again.
All right.
Grand Junction, ladies and gentlemen.
What's the best way to make it through a long work week? Take a midweek break and join the fun every Wednesday night at Alley's Ale House in Fishers for Nico's Open Stage. Want to share your talent in front of a live audience? Whether it's breaking in some new material or jamming out to some favorites, Nico's Open Stage is the place to go for it. There's never a cover charge, and walk-ins are always welcome. Each week brings a featured artist and drink specials from Jack Daniels. Check out Nico's Open Stage on Facebook for more details. And come join the fun every Wednesday night at Alley's Ale House, home of the boys of Blind Pig Confessions.
Noblesville Brewfest. We are joined by the Pig Pen.
Well, almost all of them are current members of the Pig.
Well, hey, welcome, guys. Don't say
You're
shit.
supposed
but
to say
hey,
hello
welcome.
or something.
Still nothing.
Still nothing.
Me and Clark are here.
So we got Clark and Riley on here at the Brewfest. Guys, how you feeling right now?
I am a little messed up right now.
He's a little buzzed. He's going to slow down.
Feeling good.
Already?
I lost
Nah, he's
count.
feeling good.
Man, there's
That's a
still
good
time
thing.
left. You got to pace yourself a little better than that.
Especially out in the sun. Get some
You
water.
didn't have 7 Dragon's Milks today yet?
Clark,
now.
Clark, did you?
I told myself no.
Have you just been standing in front of the Dragon's Milk?
So what's you guys' favorite beer from today?
I really like the Samuel Smith Chocolate Stout. That is my favorite beer right now. It is delicious. So good.
Clark?
Right now, it's hard to decide. I just tried an Ivory Stout, the white stout,
Yeah. From where?
and that was real good.
Where was that at? Uh-oh, making him think.
Why are you making me think?
It's too hot out.
Saint, where was that from? Saint something.
No, it wasn't St. Joe's. It wasn't the 450. It was right there with him. It was
Darn it.
St. 450.
We're horrible.
All right, we're just gonna say that was from Saint 450.
Yeah, we're because we're professionals.
So they do have the Southern Tier Pumpkin over there.
Oh, do they?
Yep.
Hey, I haven't had that yet. Let's make sure we get that.
Dude, I gotta say I'm not
I
sure.
still haven't had that one. Remember, that's the one we were talking about, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yep, they have it. It's delicious. Michelle loves. I think it's her favorite so far. But
Really? That's your favorite, Michelle? Good
she
talk.
can't hear
I
what
know.
you're saying.
I know. That's why I'm doing it.
I'm not sure if it's a good thing or bad thing, but I'm seeing it. I mean, the festival's going great. I see a few places actually running out.
Yeah, try
Really?
to pick up and leave. But
Somebody else is here picking up, and they're out of beer.
it's 5 o'clock, people.
Got 2 hours
I mean,
left.
Still got 2 hours left on this
Yeah.
one. I know.
Well, and they said it's about the same turnout as last year, so I'm not sure why everybody wasn't quite as prepared as they should have
Well,
been. But
they didn't
I
have the
agree.
pig pen last year drinking up all the beer.
That's
Well,
true.
that's true. Exactly. But between the pigs and the pig pen, we can drink a little bit of beer.
A little bit.
Yeah, we're doing well so far.
Well, my sample glass isn't helping.
You've kind of upgraded there, B.
Wow.
Yeah.
How the hell did you do that?
I took it off a table.
Oh.
Actually, Michelle stole it from me.
No, I mean, did they fill that up for you? Have you just been grabbing?
No,
wow.
you know, when you know the brewers, they
That's
just
true.
fill you up a big full glass. It's nice.
It is, yeah. And that's
It is
sipping
rather
all
than
the time.
I've pretty much sampled everything I need to sample, so I may have to switch myself up to the larger size now.
I got a few more I need to hit. Noble Order is busy as hell. I haven't even been able to get over to Noble Order. We've had theirs before. Brent and I had at Anderson Beer Fest or something like that, Brewfest, I think, or whatever it was there.
Yeah, so they like to stay true to those old English styles, and they make some very good beer.
Yeah, they have. Yeah,
It's not for they're not making great. They're not going to have an avocado beer. at
No,
Noble
no,
Order.
no.
They're
Thank
staying
God.
true to those old beer styles, but they're making some very very good beer.
Why did I sit down and there's a pack of nice tissues next to me?
Because you're sitting next to Pat.
Because I had tissues.
It's for the beers that you have to cry for because they're not good.
Horrible.
Okay.
Wow, what the hell was that?
A little tear in my beer action?
Yeah,
Is that
there
what you're
you
saying?
go. There you go.
I was really confused.
No.
Or maybe somebody's got to wipe some stuff up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I did have to go
It was-
refill the generator, and hands got gas all over him, and it's been a little bit of a mess.
It happens when you're out in the public doing these podcasts.
Yeah.
Shit happens. We're pretty easygoing. We get over it. So, Pigpen, what's going on? You
Not
guys are
much,
too
man.
damn quiet. You've been on
Not
the show
much.
enough.
I just don't want to interrupt you guys. See, I'm going to slur my words, man. I'm having a good time.
But see, Riley, if you're slurring your words, our listeners know you're out here having a good time. They're like,
Yes.
shit,
Right.
I'm
Yes.
missing this.
Yes.
That's funny.
I don't know if anybody noticed the last segment. I noticed it. I don't know if you guys down there, because you're sitting on this side, saw the big bumblebee, the 400-pound bumblebee.
No.
At the end of the tent over by Bier Brewery. This was probably 4 o'clock, so like an hour in, and he had a little too much to drink. He got his sample and started to step back and stumbled a little bit. and I'm telling you, he was every bit of 400 pounds, if not more. He grabbed that frickin' rope. And like, oh shit! Luckily, somebody was standing there and pushed him back the other way.
No, I missed that one.
because he was going to yank this whole tent down.
So he was a little too buzzed.
Exactly.
You probably had some of that dragon's milk, man.
Hard.
Actually, if you guys have been walking around taking samples, have you noticed that they have like 4%, 5%, 7%, and then they got almost everybody has that one that's like 11.5.
Yeah. Yep. Oh yeah.
I'm like, damn. That's like, oh, you want to try that one? Oh yeah, you're getting fucked up tonight.
Yeah.
Especially if they keep coming back, because I mean the small sample size is good, but you keep coming back for one of those.
Yeah, but if you're taking even 3-ounce shots of 11% beer,
it's gonna hit you.
It's gonna catch up.
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
I will say one thing, guys. I have not found a beer that I'm disappointed in. I don't know if that's just me.
I got some places I could take you.
All right. Might not have hit them all yet.
Since we haven't been to this place yet, and I
ones?
haven't had the first time I had these guys was over yonder. And I keep hearing people talking about this place.
Who?
And I don't want to get.
Yeah.
I've only had one so far, but the Urban Chestnut. I had their lager, first beer, and it's a big. The Zwiggle. Everybody talks about it. Out of St. Louis, it tastes like Budweiser.
Oh. Well, I gotta say, I had their IPA and it tasted like not Budweiser,
Maybe
but
they
not
got
good.
something else, but
Yeah.
I keep hearing a lot of talk about Urban Chestnut. I don't know who they are. I don't know if they're somebody else in their back pocket, but it didn't.
Well, I've had them at a couple other places. Just a bottle of I forget what it was, like a brown ale or something. It was all right.
All right. Well, we'll have to try some more. Like I said, this is the first one I ever had, so I don't know.
Okay.
But my first impression is not very good so far. But
their IPA was really, and Hunter had it too. It was really sweet, and then it got super bitter.
It got super bitter at the end.
It was really it didn't fit into IPA category whatsoever. It was odd. It was very, very odd.
Let me ask you this, guys.
Okay.
What beer are you guys looking for to try while we're here?
I don't know if I'm looking for anything, but I'll tell you that FDR over here, 4-Day Ray, their freaking coffee ale gave me an orgasm.
The coffee
really
blonde.
good.
That's what I'm drinking
Literally.
right now again.
Yes, Hunter.
My legs
Very
are sticky
impressed.
because of them.
Very good.
I think it's best to always, especially these brewfests, don't go in looking for a good beer. Just go in ready to sample everything and give it all a shot.
yeah, the worst
really
thing you
the
can do
best
is
thing
go
here.
go to your favorite place. Stay away from your favorite place.
Yeah.
Don't even go there that day.
You already know.
Go to everybody else.
Yeah, and then
Try
you
the
can
beer.
come back to your favorite place at the end if that's what you want.
Yep.
But yeah, that's a big thing about all these brewfests is getting outside of what you're normally getting.
That's
well,
right.
Well, it's not necessarily that I was asking you guys. It's necessarily what type of beer are you guys looking to find that you haven't tried before? That is
the pumpkin,
like a stout or IPA or.
Well, this is a good place to. This is a
or-
good place to do the pumpkin hunt.
Pumpkin hunt?
Yeah, because there's a whole bunch of them out there. Rather than having to go to the store and buy a bottle of this and this and this. This is a good place to try to get that because a lot of them are out right now. They're early. They're a little bit early on some of them. Some of them might need to mature a little more. But it's a good place to sample all that. So that's what I was looking for. I'm looking for some of the pumpkin ones just to see how they're doing this season.
I was hoping there'd be a little bit some more stout porter out there since it is fall now, but it's early. It's still early for that even.
And it's still hot.
And it's outside hot, so
Yeah.
I get it. So I'm glad 4-Day Ray brought a stout with him.
Yeah.
Because it is good.
There are a lot of
But,
stout. There have been a decent amount of stouts
But it makes
around.
sense. I
And
mean,
browns.
it's still pretty hot. Yeah.
There's been a lot of browns. A couple Kolsch's, like who did I have over there? I can't remember. I had the guys out of Kokomo. They had a
Half
decent
Moon?
yeah,
They were
Half
good.
Moon. Yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah. Triton, did you guys have their Goza?
No.
So good.
I had
That's
that.
good stuff.
Oh my god.
I haven't had that. Really good. And they had another one I haven't tried. Now I came back and he's gone. So I'm a little upset. I might need that tissue you guys had down there. So they had there was another one on the end there. It was,
Pass them over. Pass them over.
There you go.
They had a sessional bear in the end that I didn't get to try, but that Goza they had was dynamite. It was very good.
Very good.
Yeah.
I haven't had
Pat,
that one
you
yet.
did-
I'll have to
you
give that a
did-
shot.
They're gone.
There have been very few sours here. There's only been one tart I found so far.
Well, you're getting to the end of sour
Yeah,
season,
I
so you're
know,
not
yeah.
going to find many of those here.
Thank
Yeah.
God.
It was
Well-
canned too, so it looks like they're canning that Goza. I would go look for it.
We are in the Indiana beer tent, and I'll be honest with you guys. I ventured out of the Indiana beer tent, and I came running back because really I found the best beers right here in the Indiana beer tent.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not
Yep.
even trying to kiss ass to anybody. Literally, I found the best beer right here in the Indiana beer tent. I tried some of the other ones from other states, and I was like, no.
Yep.
So Indiana is doing some insanely good things with beer right now. We just got to keep that going.
Clark, what have you had today that you've liked, man?
Really, you're gonna make me think that hard?
Of course. And I'm going to make you talk in the microphone, too.
Well, so you got this is why you got to do more. You have to start taking more stock of the paying attention to the beer and the brewery, and then keeping track of it.
He just got to pay attention. Riley just said, "Hey, Clark," and he looked outside the tent like somebody was
Like somebody was yelling at him. What?
Hey, it's been a long day.
Don't kick his ass.
I don't doubt that. That's why you need to drink more, man. Have some beer. Enjoy it. Know the brews.
Riley,
That's
look at that guy. He was out lumberjacking this morning, all right? Look at that beard. You know the guy who's out lumberjacking.
I don't feel that
He
beer,
was out
man.
lumberjacking
Look at that.
You know what's cool about this one too is, obviously we're in this huge beer tent, but outside the beer, there's other beer tents, but they don't have all the brewers couldn't be here, but they gave them bottles, and everybody's got bottled beer, and the guys from the Noblesville Brewfest is pouring for everybody, so it's cool. I think they got 200, 300 frickin' beers you can try while you're here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they don't have everybody here on tap, but they have it in bottles, and they got a big wine tent. This is amazing.
It is.
It's a great time.
Music hasn't stopped, I don't think.
No.
That live music, too. I mean, that's living proof, I believe it is.
Yeah.
I was a little worried when we first got here during setup. They used Miley Cyrus as their sound check song, and
Oh God, no.
kind of scared me a little
You
bit.
weren't
But
scared. You were dancing. You know you were. You're waiting for the Britney Spears set.
He was getting down to. I came in like a wrecking ball.
no. Womanizer is the best Britney Spears video ever. Just saying, maybe the best music video ever.
Oh, I was talking about Miley Cyrus, man. Not even.
Well, yeah, no,
Britney
I
Spears.
switched over to Britney. He loves Britney Spears.
I don't love Britney. I just love that one particular video. He won't let it go.
Nope. Just
Go
like
home, YouTube Womanizer. You guys will be on my side.
Already am.
Hey, I'm just throwing this out there. I think I lost my father-in-law.
No, he doesn't. He's over there.
Dude, he's having a good time. I don't think you got to worry about him.
No, I don't think I have to worry about him at all. He's on it.
All right, guys. Well, we'll come back here in a little while. So thanks, Pigpen, for coming out and supporting the pigs as you guys always do, and enjoy the festival. We'll see you guys here soon.
Sounds good.
Peace. We're back, as you can tell, and we have Brent with Fuzic Media
Welcome.
on the show.
Hi, guys.
Good to
Thanks
have
for
you
having
on.
me.
Hey, good to have you, man.
Tell us a little bit about what the company does.
Yeah, so recently we just started a company that allows businesses, such as breweries, to play music and message and fuse their music and message together. So the biggest thing that everybody's trying to do in business, specifically in the brewery business, is tell the people that come in and enjoy their brews about what they do and the differences. And a novice like myself coming in, one of the things I always thought I would enjoy hearing about from breweries is that they tell me about a little bit about what inspired their beer and what inspired them. And I started thinking about, hey, maybe if I play music and then in between, I give them the idea to give messaging and tell a little bit about their story.
And one thing we talked about when I came in the office was every beer of these craft brewers has its own story. Every single beer has a story of its own.
Yeah.
And that's something that's really cool that you could listen to during the day when somebody's in the brewery. The Scottish 80, as I told you guys about from Bier Brewery, is a good example where they brought that from the old days, and an 80 was a good beer, and so it's called the Scottish 80 because that's how much it would cost you back then. Which they do, I found out later, have the 60 and 70 as well. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the more I actually listen to people talk about beer, the dumber I feel. So that's great.
Way to go, Jordan.
We had a slight technical difficulty, but we're back again with Brent from Fuzic Media.
How we doing?
We're doing good now. We had a generator fail.
Oh, is that okay?
But we're back
All right.
up and running now.
The tech guy handled everything. We're in good shape.
Now, are you a craft beer lover yourself?
I like beer.
Right.
Does that count?
Yeah, absolutely.
He's trying to get into craft, but he told me his favorite beer today was Shinerbach.
That's a good beer.
Is that a problem?
No. It's a very, I don't know.
Shinerbach's good.
beer.
It's
What
not
did you say?
technically craft. It's a macro.
What'd you say my palate was because of that?
Macro.
Macro, okay.
Macro
And explain what is macro then?
Macro is the big boys in the country. Miller, Budweiser, Coors, any of those that are the big breweries are the macro breweries. They're not the micros. And Shiner's made by, who's Shiner made by? It's one of them.
Is it Anheuser? I want to say.
It might be. I'm not
think
sure.
it's Anheuser.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's part of the macro family, but that's
Sure.
okay. You're learning, man. It's
I
all
am
good.
learning. It's a lot, like you said. It's the more that you guys teach me, the dumber I feel. So it's great.
Well, that's how we felt coming into this. So like, hey, we've been drinking beer our lives. We know all about beer, and we got to start doing this. Like, we don't know anything about beer.
Yeah,
exactly.
I went from drinking Miller Lite to this, and it was a huge change for me. I didn't know. I thought I knew everything about beer there was to know. I didn't know shit.
Absolutely. What I love about you guys' platform is you guys are able to sit here every day and talk to different different guys that obviously have been around the block and learn from everybody and hear everybody's story. And I'm sure even when you taste bad beer, you can at least appreciate that there's still a good story behind that and inspired by something.
Yeah, absolutely. Somebody, regardless, worked their butt off to put that beer out there. So there's always something good, something positive you can talk about.
Absolutely. Yes.
And even if a beer isn't our style, like I'm not a huge IPA guy, but if I taste an IPA, maybe it's not for me, but I know it's a decent IPA, and somebody out there probably absolutely loves it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what we have to take into consideration too.
Yeah, so, I mean, beer is subjective, right? I mean, everybody's going to, the beer that you might hate and despise, somebody else loves and completely thinks it tastes great. So it's interesting.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what's interesting. And we go into places and you see, we try a beer that maybe we don't care for, but the next thing you know, they get a line of people ordering that same beer. It's just, different strokes.
Absolutely.
Some people like different beers. I mean, different places have beers that turn people on. We love our porters and stouts, but doing this now for a year, we found other stuff that we really enjoy as well. So it's love doing it. But yeah, you're right. The stories coming out of it is what's important and what's so much fun to hear these guys talk about, and see the passion coming out of this.
Yeah, and what you guys do also is interesting, because a guy like me that is a novice that wouldn't have a platform to learn can actually listen to a couple of your podcasts and start picking up the language, start understanding when they go in and know what they're tasting, and not feel like a complete idiot like I did for a long time. So it's a neat thing that you do.
Your palate changes after a while. You start drinking, it really does. You start drinking things that, a year ago I would have never picked up or drank. Like I said, I'm not a big hop guy either, but now I find some hoppy beers I really enjoy because my palate's changed, and I start to learn what flavors are there and what hops I actually like. So there's a whole world of beer out there that, it's not stout, porter, lager. There's so many that goes into each style. That's amazing, and you have to pick out of each one of those. And there's so many hops. American hops are amazing.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites now. But
yeah, it's what's been great about it. About 6-7 years ago, I got into wine a little bit, and it's one of those things where you get into it because you start being intimate with it. The more information you know about wineries and vineyards and the berries, and it's the same thing with beer is what I'm finding out. The more information you get about how they're coming up with the ideas, what they're blending, what they're putting in, if you are the beer drinker and the connoisseur of that, then that's what's going to make you want to come back and understand it more.
And that's the thing with a lot of these different beers, though, because I think you kind of touched on it, is, you've got your stouts that are good with different things. And the pairings, I think, with the different craft beers that we've come across, I think that's one of the biggest things that I've started to learn about it, because I was in the same place you were. I was, I grew up drinking Miller Lite and those things. But now my palate's changed, and I love different beers with different things that I eat. So it's kind of become a new... a new combination, a new thing.
Well, you're sitting here at a festival where I would probably say at least 60% of the people here are not really, they don't understand what they're drinking. They're here because they heard there's a beer place.
Right.
But the more that we do this kind of thing and you get into it, now pretty much everybody you talk to feels like they kind of know wine because there was that big movement.
Absolutely.
And I think beer is in that place right now where that big movement is happening, and everybody's starting to learn a little bit about beer where they can talk intelligently.
Absolutely.
So.
And I think one thing about our show that you touched on a little bit is people can listen to us and we don't down talk people, because we don't consider ourselves beer snobs. We consider ourselves beer enthusiasts that are still learning. So you can listen to our show, and we try to actually help people understand the craft beer. We don't, you don't know what that is? Why would you not? We don't talk down to people like that.
Right.
We try to
appreciate
encourage people
that. Thank
to.
We do when the mics are off. But
we try to encourage people to try the craft brew scene, and they come to us. We'll tell them, hey, I think this is probably the best beer for you to try, or try to get them moving in the right direction. But down talking people and making them feel stupid about beer is not what we want to do. That's not what we're here for. We're here to help educate and really help push the craft beer movement forward.
Yeah, it's awesome. There's a ton to learn, that's for sure.
Well, Indy's a great place to be doing it because we talked to 4-Day Ray, and they're going to be doing the gastro pub. The food is an amazing time to be in Indy with food and music and beer, and it all goes together so well. The food industry is thriving in Indianapolis. There's a lot of new great chefs coming into Indy, so it just makes sense that all these new craft breweries are popping up, and I don't see it ending anytime soon, which is nice.
No, definitely. What's awesome about Indy is the same with the business sector that you don't get on the coast, I don't believe, but everybody helps everybody. Everybody, even a lot of the guys bounce around a little bit and try to help people get up off the ground, and it's a really cool city to be in where
It is.
they kind of help each other out.
I've been on the West Coast and up north, and I haven't seen the tightness in the beer community like there is here. So it is,
That's it. That camaraderie is second to none. It really is.
Yeah, so we kind of feel that a little bit with Fuzic Media because it's a technology-based company and a cloud-based company that, all these tech guys that are here in the community, they help you out, they lift you up, and you don't get that same flavor everywhere else in the country. So Indy's pretty special. So what does this show sound like in about an hour and a half?
A lot different.
No, just more.
I just love beer,
just
man.
More explicits.
A lot more cussing. It's good. It's
Exactly.
good.
Well, I mean, to kind of stamp what you just said earlier, about kind of learning and how that process goes. We started brewing beer so we could have more intelligent conversations with the breweries. And now that's become a new passion for us too, and we're trying to hone in our flavors and the different things too. And again, we all have different palates and things that we love and enjoy. So it's kind of interesting when we'll taste a beer, we'll go, oh, I love that, and then Brendan's like, I don't know about that.
But it's funny, we got to catch it. We got to stop sometimes because we'll get in with a brewery that we'll start talking about the beer. We'll be working on the beer at the time.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, we're on a 20-minute conversation
about our beer.
But we're like, okay, holy shit, we got to back up here.
I bet.
We got to remember we do have an entertainment business too, so but that's why we had it.
Absolutely. It's one of those things that you go up, and I felt that when I just talked earlier and told somebody what kind of beer I liked, and they had that cross look like, what, are you kidding me?
I don't know who that was.
We don't cut mics unless they say, if they say Coors Light, you usually get the crickets, and then I disconnect everything and you're done.
I did not say Coors Light. I had that going for me. Yeah, it's a fun day because it's nice outside. The weather's good for it. So it's been a lot of fun out here.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is a great event. It's very well organized. We've been at several events this year. This one's probably one of the best organized ones we've been to. So far, it's been a pleasure to be here, and I really appreciate what they've done for us and really what they're doing for the community, because we do have to remember this event is actually going to help the aquatic center here at the park.
Yep.
And that's a big deal. I mean, they're raising money for the community here at this event.
Yep.
And that's a big deal. We definitely want to support that and be a big part of that, too.
I mean, what an amazing turnout. I mean, there are people as far as the eye can see here, and this is really cool. It's really cool to be a part of this and see the community come out and support something like this, too.
Well, one thing I like about this one is the intimacy, because it's a little bit tighter. People are a little bit closer together than some of the other ones that were spread out. This one is, everybody is right together, so everybody's out bullshitting together, and they're stepping back, drinking the beer.
Exactly.
Some of these events have been so spread out where people are in little cliques. They're together, 4 or 5 people, and they're not talking about else. This one, everybody's together and meeting new people. It's great.
But it's not crowded.
No, not at all.
It's
beautiful.
everybody spread out just enough, but able to have a really good time and enjoy the entire scene. The band's playing in the background. You're not too far from it no matter where you go.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is very well organized.
I mean, you look at the breweries that are here, and you're thinking just Noblesville, Fishers, Indianapolis, and the amount of breweries that are right here in this area is pretty incredible. And there's some fantastic beer here, just in this group. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Just under one tent, and there's 3 or 4 tents here. This is just Indiana Brewers here, and it's crazy. The amount of brewers and the amount of good beer that's here right now today.
Yeah, we go to table to table and we go, oh, okay, man, that's my favorite one yet. Oh, well, wait a minute, this one is.
Right. And what's weird is the more you drink, the better they taste. It's really weird.
But I'm not going to lie, I'm still going back to 4-Day Ray's Coffee Blonde so far. I think this stuff is amazing.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. And a beer, again, their pumpkin is really good today.
Yeah.
Metazoa has their kinkajou here. That's really good.
Is that what we're drinking now, right?
What?
Is that what we're drinking right now? Metazoa?
We have Metazoa. I'm not sure which one it is, but
Metazoa.
It's one of Metazoa's.
It's good?
Yeah, it is good. It's very good. Yeah, as everybody takes a drink and nobody's speaking.
Yes. That's how it usually works.
Crickets.
We were just out at Metazoa about a month ago. We did a show with them, sat down out there, and that's
cool
a great place. A very, very cool place. They're very much animal friendly. They give back 5% to the animals, different animal charities and stuff. Just a cool place in general. We sampled 18 beers while we were there. So
wow.
When you're talking about the end of the show, we did 2 shows there. By the end of the second show, things were a little hazy for the show. But
I bet so. I bet. So what's interesting about even the breweries, though, too, is they're all starting to put in their little beer gardens, and they're making their ambiance very, very cool. So as a business guy, I look at it from the business sense of what are you doing different now to set yourself apart from other breweries. It's becoming a tight race, and where do people like to go and drink beer? And they're starting to take those little steps now to pay attention to the small things that make people really want to go and hang out.
Right. You have to, because everybody's putting out some really good beer right now. So it's kind of what's your differentiator? Why do I come to you tonight instead of somebody else? Absolutely.
Yep. Atmosphere. So hopefully with Fuzic, we're trying to blend into that atmosphere. We're trying to make it so that when people come in, we play great music to get that atmosphere and that vibe nice, and then we'll put out some messaging so people know what's going on at the brewery.
Perfect. Sounds good. Well, thank you for coming on the show today. We got a lot of other brewers and stuff to talk to, so we appreciate you coming on and talking to us a little bit about Fuzic, and hope to be doing some business with you here real soon.
Hell yeah. Thanks for having me, guys. It's a pleasure.
All right, thanks a lot. All right, we're back at Noblesville Brewfest, and this is a pretty exciting time for me anyway. We have Brian from 4 Day Ray, who hasn't even opened yet.
Not yet.
On the show.
And after that first 2 beers I've had, I can't wait.
Yeah. Welcome to the show, Brian.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate you having me on.
So tell us a little bit about 4 Day Ray, other than they're in Fishers. We got that. But
yeah, for sure. Well, we're in the Nickel Plate District, so we'll start out with the name, right? So there's some railroad history there. You got the fair train, all that going on. So we wanted to give a little bit of a nod to the area, but we didn't want to be steam engine brewing. So 4 Day Ray is actually a slang term for a rail employee that habitually calls off work 1 day a week.
Okay.
Beautiful. Nice.
I mean, who doesn't love a 3-day weekend, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So cheers to that. And then we knew people would abbreviate it, so everyone loves acronyms.
Yep.
And FDR, our 32nd president, ended Prohibition.
Absolutely.
So we're drinking a beer right now because of the repeal. So
Absolutely.
cheers to that.
Cheers.
Amen.
Yeah, that goes in line with what we do. I mean, we started this as an anti-prohibition radio show about craft beer, and that was our love. So we do some history shows, and we get in a little bit about Prohibition and why we hate it, but why FDR is an amazing guy and why we can drink beer now. So it's beautiful. We can't wait for after 4 Day Ray to open. I know I can.
So when is grand opening?
We're looking at mid-October right now. So
Okay.
yeah, I mean, things are coming together really quick. We've got our initial brews. We've got a couple in the bright tanks. We should be kegging off here pretty soon. We're looking at anywhere between 6 to 8 when we open of our own beers, and then we'll just build that lineup, as we go along.
Are you guys going to do guest taps? Or are you going to strictly do yours?
Yeah. So to start out, we have 20 taps in the restaurant. It's a gastro pub, so we're doing some really killer food as well.
Nice.
But so we're going to open with some nice German, Belgian, English stuff that really no one's serving anymore because the focus of American craft beer has been so hot. And obviously we're doing it ourselves. So, but I think there's some of that stuff has been lost over the years as all that focus has been put there.
Yeah.
I've talked to people that have never had a real Belgian triple.
Oh yeah.
And so that's part of what we want to educate people when they come in and help them be educated consumers and understand the world of beer.
Well, they're drinking
and not
beer.
just from the American interpretation of it, like what does that look like? What should we be looking for when we go out? Those kinds of things. So.
Right, and that's kind of what our show does to a certain degree. We go to the different breweries, and we kind of feel like we're like the ambassadors for you guys, because we go out there and we push the craft beer industry. We say, it doesn't matter what macro beer you're used to drinking. There's a beer out there that you're going to love.
Oh yeah.
As soon as we get you hooked on that craft, you're going to find other craft beers that you love, and you're going to start pretty soon before you know it. A lot of the different crafts you're going to appreciate across the scale.
Oh, sure.
You're no longer going to be just drinking a light domestic style beer. You're going to enjoy an IPA here. You're going to enjoy a stout here, a Belgian triple here, and it's just getting people into that mindset. And once they get into the scene, they never go back.
Right.
We all started as macro drinkers, but you never see a macro in my hand anymore because there's so much available out there in the craft world.
Yeah. There's so many styles to choose from, and if you don't want something heavy, there's just a lot of lighter choices out there that you can be consuming. So. Yeah,
and I think the craft beer, this explosion has brought people together. It is a social event as well, and everybody is finding something that they enjoy, whether it's a guy or a girl that hasn't liked craft beer before or liked beer before. They're finding craft beer that they enjoy, whether they like whiskey or a wine. There's a beer for you.
Right.
So it's just a great time to be in this industry and to be in the scene.
Oh, yeah.
And to be able to drink it.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
So
now
what
you
we-
have some extensive. You didn't just start this yesterday or 2 weeks ago. You've been brewing for a while, right?
Yeah, so personally, I've been brewing for 20 years. I'm a BJCP certified beer judge, and then I also won the Best of Show at the State Fair in 2000 with a Belgian wit. So
nice.
It's definitely been a passion of mine for a really long time.
Now you've been all been home brewing. Have you been working with anybody else, or has this been a home brewing passion that long?
It's just been a homebrew, thing for me. At the brewery, we've got a professional brewer on staff, Mitch Ackerman. Last place he was in Arizona. They were doing 6,000 barrels there. So Mitch has a lot of experience.
Right.
He's done canning, bottling, you name it. He's seen it. So we're really excited to have him on. He's a really malt-focused guy, which is cool because it balances me out. I'm the hop guy. So we really complement each other well in that sense. And he was at Thirsty Dog before he was out there. So just great resume, really good dude, and I'm excited to be partnering with him and collaborating on that stuff together.
Great deal.
Yeah.
Well, we got to talk about what we're drinking right now.
Yes.
This
Before it's
was
gone.
my initial 4-day rate beer, the first one I ever had, and I've already said this is one of my favorites today. It's absolutely dynamite. It's the coffee blonde. It's stellar.
Thank you.
And I'm not a huge Jordan's. He's a huge coffee stout guy, but there's something about this, the mellowness of it, and the creaminess that I think it's amazing. I love it.
It's
good.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
You get the coffee tones and
that aroma when you first
man.
that smokiness, and man, when you first walked up and you brought these, I smelled it and I was like, I can't wait to taste this.
If you're a coffee drinker and that morning you get that, that aroma comes out of the coffee pot.
Absolutely.
That's what's coming out of the
exactly
glass.
it.
But then that creaminess comes through.
Yeah, absolutely. It's glorious, man. This is by far my favorite today already.
Oh, thank you very much.
This is so good.
I appreciate that.
We got a lot of beers to drink, but it's going to be hard to beat this.
Yes, so far.
Well, after you've had like 20 or 30, you come back and have that, it'll actually refresh your palate because of the coffee that's in there.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's really nice. Yeah.
And it's hard to find people that make a really good coffee beer because a lot of times they use the wrong coffee in it. I feel like they try to put the coffee so strong that it makes it bitter, and you get that bitter espresso aftertaste to it.
Right.
Yours doesn't have that.
Oh,
it's like a full flavored beer with a good full flavored coffee in it as well.
Also, most of the time they're limiting it to the stouts and whatever when you're throwing coffee in there.
Yeah, this is a nice change of pace.
Yeah,
for
thank
sure.
you.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny, if you think about the darker beers, when you typically see the coffee, you have the dark grain that has some similar characteristics and flavor to coffee, and so it's really competing in there. And I feel like there's a lot of alcohol that typically goes along with some of the coffee porters and stouts. Whereas this, it's 4.8%.
Right.
The coffee is able to shine through, and it goes really well with the citrus of the hops that we have in there. So if you have like I think the African coffees have that type of citrus there that you're gonna be able to get out of that. So I think it goes really well with the hops, and it finishes. It's a long coffee finish too, not just the aroma.
That's what you're saying. It really stays with you.
Yeah,
and I would never guess it was only a 4.8 beer.
No.
It's so full flavored and full bodied. I would have put it at least in the mid-5 somewhere.
Yeah, we're gonna try it on nitro in the restaurant just to see if it gives it that sort of cream and sugar kind of creaminess to it. So yeah, we'll experiment with that and see how that goes.
See, I'm getting a creamy mouthfeel out of this one. I think it's really good. Yeah. I just think it's delicious. And I don't know if you guys have been over there yet to get their stout, which is great that we're actually right next door to these guys. Which is perfect now today since I've found my favorite beer.
Next door.
Their stout is amazing. It's just a real clean. It's what a dry stout should be. I mean, what is that one of your concoctions or? Is
no, that's actually Mitch. Our nickname for Mitch is Malty Mofo.
Right. It's good.
So it's his recipe, and that's why we named the stout that. So
delicious.
Nice.
Yeah.
So did you say you guys are going to have a full restaurant as well?
Yes. Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, we'll be doing globally inspired cuisine in the restaurant, so it's not going to be just your regular pub grub. So it's a gastropub. Mitch and our executive chef Andrew, they're collaborating together. We'll be cooking with beer as much as we can. Our onion soup's going to have this stout in it.
Nice.
We have a Black Forest cherry cake that's going to have our porter in it. So we're going to do a lot of stuff like that where, it's just, and they go together, right? Beer is food.
Yeah, I was going to say, the beer's still going to shine
so
through even through the food, so that's great.
When I set out to open this, it was, I'm a foodie, and you just can't. It's just the experience is so much better when you have both together.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Well, we can't wait for it, man. I'm glad you sat down with us. I know you're going to get back over there. We'll be over there a lot today.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that, guys.
Absolutely.
All right, man. Well, thanks for coming on, and definitely we'll have to get together with you.
Look forward to your opening, man. I can't wait for it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we need to get together because I know that grand opening's coming up soon, so we need to get out there.
So we're doing a podcast with Indiana on Tap, and we actually did one with the Noblesville Beer Fest. I think it was a week ago or so. Just
I think I saw that posted up. Yeah.
So let us know. We'd love to have you guys out. We can give you the tour and just give you a rundown of everything we've got on.
Appreciate it, man.
Hey, thanks.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Brian.
All right, so this will be the final segment here today at Noblesville Brewfest. I got to say, I've personally sampled a lot of beers. We've had quite a few brewers on. It was hard to get around to everybody today, though, because let's face it, this crowd was busy. I mean, this place was swamped.
Yeah.
And 250 beer samples, shit. I mean, I'm kind of a beer connoisseur, but I'm not that damn good, so.
Well, we made a lot of friends. We made some new contacts. Hopefully got some new shows coming up soon. I mean, this is the reason we do these kinds of things. We love to come out and meet these people.
Absolutely. Brendan?
I don't like meeting any of these people.
Well, shut up.
It's like drink beer and
you just don't like
fun.
people.
No, I don't. No, this was awesome.
Yeah, this is a really good event.
I can't believe everybody's ran out of beer. That's a good sign for everybody.
It was because the Pigpen
was in the house. Dear God, they ran everybody out.
They're going to start charging $30 for the general public and $65 for the Pigpen.
Yeah.
No, I'll tell you what, it's perfect. It's a great event. It's a great cause. All the tree. It's a beautiful place to do it. Got a ton of shade. It wasn't it wasn't obnoxiously hot.
No, not
It was
at all.
a beautiful day to do it. The live music was great. It ran all day long. I don't think those guys took a break, did they?
I never heard a break.
No.
I didn't hear a pause at all, which I don't know if it was multiple bands or the
no,
same
it's just
ones.
Living
geez.
Proof. I mean, they ran all the way through, so.
That's a lot of songs to roll through.
But this is awesome. Can't wait to do it again next year, and I can't wait. We're gonna be into. I know Grand Junction, 4-Day Ray. We met some new friends over there, and some amazing new breweries. 4-Day Ray isn't even open yet, and man, they're making some good beer.
Oh, definitely.
And Flix was here. We've done some work with Flix. That's another partner of the show. And Bier Brewery was here, and Redemption was here. Metazoa was here. Exactly. I mean, a lot of Flat 12. A lot of people we've done work with on the show before. It was great to see all those guys. And then, like you guys said, meet the new people on the block. Metazoa actually is a really new brewery.
Yeah. Brand new, yeah.
They're only 7 months old, so.
And again, making good beer. And I love the fact that they give back to the animals and the wildlife. So
we still got some of that. I was wishing we could hit like Noble Order, but man, they were swamped all day.
Yeah.
I mean, we literally couldn't even get back to them to talk. There's a few others that I wish we could have gotten on, but we made some contacts with them, so we'll hopefully get to do some shows there with some of these ones that we couldn't get on at the fest today because it was just massively popular. I mean, everybody was here, just roaming around. There didn't appear to be any troubles really.
Just a lot of people, man.
It was great.
A lot of people came
but in
out.
a good space. I mean, it wasn't overly bad as far as crowded.
There was that one 400-pound guy that almost took this tent down.
That's true.
We did no. This guy's about twice his size.
Okay.
And he was stumbling and grabbed hold of the rope over yonder. And luckily, somebody was standing right there and held him back up. Because, he was taking this whole place with him.
But yeah, and I even went over and talked to the police officers a little bit, and I said, how's the day going? They said, we don't usually have problems at craft beer festivals because people love the craft. So they come here to sip the beers, enjoy the beers. They don't come here to chug the beers and get shit-faced.
No.
And I think that's a whole different world of craft beer.
Well, the mindset is completely different. If you're going out to the track with your cooler of frickin', Budweiser or Coors or whatever, you're drinking that because you're going to get drunk.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, this is different. This is an appreciation of everything craft. Even the wineries. They have the wineries and stuff over there too. Then a few food trucks. It's usually not a big problem.
Well, let me ask you this: if you did get buzzed, is that a bad thing?
No, not at all.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Why are you asking, Riley?
Yeah, because I'm a little buzzed right now. I'm having a good time. It's been a good time.
But you're in a good mood too.
I was buzzed before you got here.
That's probably true. Yeah. But you came out to try the samples. You didn't come out to just get chug lots of beer and stuff. You were really trying lots of different things.
I savored every little bit that I could with that beer, or with that beer that I tasted. It was very, very good. I mean, every single brewery that
Riley
I had,
drank one beer
at this place. It's the Samuel Smith organic chocolate
He
stout.
kept going back to the Samuel Smith organic chocolate.
Same exactly thing.
They didn't get sick of him.
He kept bringing beers to us.
Was he putting like fake mustaches on and stuff? Going back to another one.
Fake accent, changing his accent every time he goes up.
So I do want to, real quick though, I do want to give a big shout out to Greg and the entire Noblesville Brewfest staff and say, hey, thanks for having us. We couldn't have been treated any better. We got fed, we got beer, we got to interview the brewers. We get to help pass the word along for next year.
Yep.
And that's what we're here to do, man. I would love to see twice as many people here next year. I mean, the greedy side of me says no. I would rather see half as many so I could get more samples. But the realistic side of me says I would love to see twice as many people here to support the cause.
Yep, definitely.
Well, good, guys. I think we're going to wrap this one up. It's a great festival.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody, and we will see you next time on Blind Pigs.
See you.
Bye.
Hoo-doo.
There's a place called a gin mill way down in the slums. There's a place called a gin mill way down in the slums. My baby goes that night and stays till the morning comes.